Hello everybody. So today we're gonna make some exploration of ChatGPT and Python because some people says that we don't need coders anymore because we got ChatGPT that does a lot of work and that can substitute coders. But I think that for the moment ChatGPT can help us to improve our ability to make code without having to go into Google search and Stack Overflows and things like that, where there are answers to something, but we have to spend a lot of time after to check the right answer, to solve some problems that we try to solve, and to see if someone else solved the problem before. So let's explore a little bit of Python with ChatGPT to see if it can help us. So I always wanted to make games, and I made some games with Pygame, but I also struggled to do them because when you make a game and you start to make a lot of lines of code, they start getting messy if you are not well organized and so on. And so we want to see if we can do it with ChatGPT and if we can do it faster. So let's say I made a lot of tutorials about Pygame, and a lot of time I start again from scratch. And I have to say the basic, like how to make a window, how to load an image. And so I think if now we get ChatGPT that can tell us how to do it, I don't have to explain always the basics. So we can, I think you can start asking yourself to ChatGPT these basic things, and so we can concentrate on make more interesting things and more complicated things. So let's see what we can do. Okay, let's ask to ChatGPT. Let's make an empty window with Pygame. Maybe it could be a good prompt. Prompt that starts saying what we expect from ChatGPT to do it. So we could also start from here, and he will figure out how to do it. But let's say help me making a game in Python using the library, let's be explicit, Pygame. Okay, and then I say let's make an empty window with Pygame. Okay, let's go. Let's see if, so this can help you also to start a new, you could do some things like save some templates. I tried to do it, but I'm not very well organized. I don't like to save things. I don't find things when I save them. So I often find myself rewriting always the same stuff at the beginning. So this could help us to avoid this and avoid going to copy things or start again writing everything, these boring things here, because it's always the same. Let's see if ChatGPT, this is the version, okay, I put the version, yes, 3.5, but let's go into the version okay, this is the free version. But okay, I got also the 4.0 version, the 4.0 version. Let's see how it goes here with the free version, because maybe not everybody got the paid version, so it's better. Let's start here and see what happens. Maybe then we will make a we will see how to do it with the paid version and see the differences. So let's say ChatGPT Python Pygame. Okay, let's call this this folder like this. So this is the main. Let's call it main.py. We don't want to. We want to make a lot of files instead of writing a lot of code into the same files. Same file. let's see, let's run this. And let's see, it's a bit of time that I don't code in Python, so let me see how I use, yes, I use, let's see, okay, you see the windows, okay, it's very, very clean, the code, because it let me shut down the window without errors. Let's see what Python has done. It imported Pygame, imported sys. If you don't have Pygame, you got to install it doing pip install Pygame. Okay, let me also check. I think I got it already, so it should say me. Okay, he is installing the latest version, maybe, I think. Okay, let's see if now that I install this, if something broke. Okay, everything is fine. Okay, and so you got to do this to install Pygame. As you see here, it imported Pygame and another module that is sys. Sys, you don't have to install this because it's a built-in module. It means that it's just into Pygame when you install it. You install Python with you can go to python.org to install the latest version. And let me see if there are some changes in the new version. I don't. Let me see, 3.12.3. While my let me open another command line here and see what is. Okay, I got 2.1. It's not the latest one, but it's always the 3.12. Okay, we won't upgrade for the moment to the latest one because it's good, this one. Okay, so then when you start to use Pygame, you get initialize Pygame with pygame.init. Then you fix the width and height of the window, that is this one, and you pass it into this command here, pygame.display.setMode. This one will create the window with the width of 800, and the variable is set here, and the height of 600. Then we have pygame.display.setCaption, empty Pygame window. This is the title that will appear. Let me show you where here. I don't know if you can see empty Pygame window. Okay, so this, as you can see, ChatGPT has made a name that is has sense because it's an empty Pygame window. Running equal true. This is a variable, a Boolean value set to true. That is the same as to set it to 1 because Boolean got 1 or 0, just these two values. This is value true or 1. So while running, this is an iteration that will run forever until running is true. So while running is true or 1, it will do this loop inside after the column here. It will do this loop forever. I remember that Python got the indentation method here, and look for what this is because we don't have time to explain this now. And so this loop will go on forever or until running become false. Okay, so here we will check the event in that the user will cause, moving the mouse, clicking somewhere, pressing a key, and all these events will be stored, listed into this with this function here. Okay, and here we will check if the event if one of the event that is stored in this list, the type of the event is pygame.quit. So if we quit the window, that it means practically if the event is pygame.quit, this is the event pygame.quit when I press this X button. So if I press this button, practically this is the translation of what this if event.type equal pygame. So let me write it down explicitly. If I press X, okay, let me X, the X button, the red X button on the window, running equal false. So it will stop. Running will be false, so running will be 0. So when it will go up again here, you will see while running will be 0, and so it will stop. Iterating this loop will stop. If not, if you do not press X, the window will fill with white color. I want to show you. Let me change the color, putting a 0 here, so you will see that this is the thing that colors the window. You see, now it's blue because we cut down the red color, and because this is red, blue, red, yellow, and blue color. So, for example, if I do put this to 0, 2, we will have a blue because we have just the maximum value to the blue and 0 value to yellow and or green, as the American people says here, green. But I think it's, let me see what if it's green or yellow. I always mistake the color. Let me put this one to the max. Okay, it's green. Okay, red, green, and blue. So in this case, the maximum value is to green, and so the window becomes green. Okay, so until now, ChatGPT has done everything perfectly. So has filled with this green color the window. And the window, I remember here, it's this, because we named this object here, that is the window object, that is 800 for 600. We named it window, and we applied this method here to the window that colors the window of the color that you pass to this argument. That is green. Okay, and then it pygame.display.flip means that it will refresh. How to say? This is you can write flip or what is the other name? Update. It updates the screen. Okay. So it's useful for animation. So if you want to change something on the screen, you need to update the screen to change what you draw on the screen, so that you can make a game, for example, moving things. Okay. Or you don't move nothing, but you give the sensation of the movement, placing, drawing the sprite, for example, at another position, so that it seems that it is moving. Okay, because a game is like a movie where a lot of static images goes one after another at a very high rate, at 60 frames per second, so that you have the illusion that there are things that are moving, but it's just an illusion. So after when we press the X button, the red X button, as we said, this code here stops running and goes to the next line. There is Pygame quit and 6 exit. So it quits the window. And so that's all what happens here into this code that has been made by ChatGPT. So we don't have to write it anymore or remember everything like display, set caption, set mode. That these are things very boring kind of code, because these things we need to do just at the beginning. Then we will not do anything with this thing here. We need just this window object to be filled with colors to make things with the screen, but we don't have to. These are just to initialize Pygame. And so if you don't want to write it every time you start a game, a project, something like that, You don't have to remember everything, because now we got ChatGPT finally that can help us to do this and assist us making using Python. So I don't think that coding will not be necessary because there is Pygame, at least for the moment, and because I think that it can make us do things faster. So I use the free version of ChatGPT, and so there's no need to make this to use the paid version, the upgraded version. And just if you are curious, let's try with the paid version. Okay, let's go here and let's use the same prompt we used here. Where is it? Okay, yeah, I think we can copy it like that so that we see. Okay, help me making a game using the library Pygame. Let's make an empty window with Pygame. I think it will be just the same, but let's see, just because I'm curious to see what is different with Chat, the new version 4.0. Maybe it's something different, I don't know, maybe it will explain, because okay, let's also see while he is doing his thing. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Let's create a Python. Okay, he made this, and then he said we import Pygame module. Pygame is nice. Wait, you see that I have explained to you every line, but it was not necessary anymore because ChatGPT is explaining to you every step. We define width and height. The main game loops run until the user closes the window. Inside the loop, we handle events. You see, it explains it perfectly, maybe even better than me, such as quitting the game. We fill the window with the white color using we update the display using Pygame display and show us changes made. When the game loops exit, we quit Pygame. Okay, it's perfect. You will never see an explanation so simple and clean into maybe Stack Overflow, because ChatGPT has the patience to explain also to a newbie what this is, while a user that is more expert maybe will not always have this patience. So let's see instead with the version 4.0 to see the differences and if something is different. He says, sure, I'll help you create an empty window using Pygame. It's a step basic Pygame window. You see that is more, you see, a lot of more information. Pygame window, install Pygame first, as I told you. I told you that you have to install Pygame, but the free version didn't say that, even if maybe if you asked some more explanation, he would have told you. But this time with the same prompt, he's telling you how to install Pygame. Pip install Pygame. Okay, first you need to ensure Pygame is installed. You can install it using pip if you haven't already. Create a Python script, create a new Python file. You see here, it's very explicit, very clear. You get to create a new Python file called main.py. I didn't explain this to you, and even in the free version there was not this explanation. Maybe to a newbie could be useful, because maybe it doesn't know how you get to save this Python file. Maybe it doesn't know the extension, etc. Write the code. Use the following code to create an empty Pygame window. Okay, let's see what you get to do. Okay, this is the same, screen and white. This uses 2 lines of code instead of the previous one. You see here he has done, but it's perfectly the same. I don't think that one is better than other. You see here with an 800 and 600, and white width and height is the same. Screen equal Pygame display set mode screen width. I don't know. I see. Yeah. Okay. It's all the same. Screen width, screen height. Pygame displays a caption. Okay. Empty Pygame window. They choose the same name for the window. This is something that is optional, random, something like that, but it has sense and is just the same. You see nothing different. Running equal true. Main game loop, there is written here. Yes, there is written main loop. While running for the event in Pygame event, get if event type equal running false perfectly, screen field 0, 0, 0. This time it decided to fill the screen in black, this one in white, but it's just the same. Pygame display the flip. It uses flip instead of update. It's like the same. Quit Pygame, okay. And let's see how it explains it. This time it's an initialization. Okay, set up display, create a window specific width and height, caption, okay, main loop, keeps window open, it listens for events, like closing the window and updates the display, event handling, echo. Here you can see that it explains also what is pygame.event.get. I don't know if this one did it. This was more synthetic, I think. Instead, this one is more verbose, and it explains also what that it could be interesting. This is a very interesting concept to understand for a new buy, the pygame.event.get, because this is very important to interact with the user. So get the list of all events. This is very well explained in a very clear, clean, short, synthetic way, but very precise. So it's a list of all events. If event type equal Pygame, quit, and it explains also this line as I did it. So it's very like a human tutor, let's say so. Checks if the window of close button was clicked. Perfect. This is, I think, it's very clear, very human-like kind of explanation, and even maybe better than a lot of humans. Screen update, screen.fill 000. First, I fill the window with a black color, optional. That means that you can change color, or you can also, you don't have to fill it, where you can also don't write this line. And pygame.display.flip updates the content of the window, quit Pygame with OK. Okay, and it also here explains another difference that is very interesting for someone that wants to learn the Python in depth. So he wants to learn Pygame in a way that he understands what is going on. You see that it's really better than the free version in this case. Maybe it's casual. Maybe if I could ask to, can you explain more in detail what the code does? I could do this with the free version, and I think we could achieve the same thing. You see here, it's going line by line and explaining in depth what is going on. And maybe you get the same results, but in the more verbose version, I think that is for O, we didn't have to ask him this. So you see here important libraries, etc., initializing this one. I want to see if it displays also the Pygame event. Let's see how it does it. Inside the loop, we iterate over all the events that have occurred since the last frame. We are specifically interested in Pygame.quit event, which occurs when the user clicks the close button on the window. If this event occurs, we set running to false, which will exit the loop and terminate the program. Perfect. I think it's perfect. Filling the window, okay, represent the RGB values for white. You see here, updating the display, Pygame, okay, after making the changes surface, we call Pygame display to update the display. Okay, this function updates it. Quitting, okay, after, okay, it doesn't explain the Pygame event.get, but if you ask him to do it, it will do it. And I want to ask another thing. What is the difference? What's the difference difference. Okay, let's see if I can write it. Among between Pygame dot display dot flip. This is my curiosity to see, and Pygame dot display dot update. Let me see what we got. Okay, it's a long explanation. And Pygame buffer are used to update the display, but they differ slightly in their behavior. Flip. Pygame updates the entire content of the display window. It is typically used when you have made changes to the entire window surface and want to update everything at once. When you call Pygame swaps the front and back. This is interesting. Pygame internally swaps the front and back buffers. This means that the contents on the back buffer, when you draw your changes, are shown on the screen, and the front buffer becomes the new back buffer. Okay, so swaps the front, that means that the content of the back are shown on the screen, and the front buffer becomes the new back buffer when you can continue drawing. Okay, maybe I've understood it. It's commonly used in double buffering scenarios where one buffer is being displayed while the other is being drawn to. Okay, one is displayed and the other is being drawn to. Let's see. Update, what is the difference? It gives you more control over which portions of the display to update. You can pass it a rectangle or a list of rectangles representing the areas of the screen that you want to update. Okay, I knew that this, but I want to see how ChatGPT explained it. Also because I want to see if there are some use cases that you can take advantage of this. I think that to make things faster, you can just update just the things that you want to change. But I don't know if in a game it's usable, because you know it depends on the game. Maybe some games, some peculiar games, maybe can be updated just in a part of a screen, and so save some memory or something like that. Okay, you can pass in a letter, but if you understand this, maybe we can take advantage of something. Maybe we can use it to speed up the frame rate, something like that. You can pass it as a rectangle or list, or rectangles represent the area. So it is useful. Here it explains when it's useful. When you have only made changes to specific areas of the Windows surface and want to update only those regions rather than the entire window. I think that if we could make some algorithm, something that in our game we make an engine that is capable of understanding what we need to update automatically, because we cannot do it hard coding, because it will be something impossible to predict. What do we have to change on the screen? It could be used for, could be made just for games like card games, something like that. Okay, not for a classic game. But if we could make something like an algorithm that goes and it checks what is moving and makes just that part to and refresh just this part with update, it could be we could speed up we could have more frame rate, I think, maybe, rather than the entire window. Updated specific regions can be more efficient than updating the entire window, of course, especially in situations where only a small portion of the window have changed. Okay, in summary, Pygame display that flip updates the entire window surface and is typically used for full window updated in double buffering scenarios, while Pygame.display update allows for more fine-grained control over which regions of the window are updated and can be more efficient when updating specific areas. I think if we make simple games, I don't know, like a Galaxy clone, for example, you see that there are just some sprites that are moving, you know, like the player sprite on the bottom and some enemies on top. So in this case, you could take advantage of this. So this was just to make an example how you can use ChatGPT to help you make a game and to help you to understand and learn coding with a particular module like Pygame, and also in the same time learn also Python. So I would have been very, very happy to have this tool when I started learning Python, because I think it would would have speeden up, I don't know if I said it right, my learning process, even if someone can say that coders are not needed anymore because because ChatGPT does everything. But I'm not sure about this. Maybe it can do things and help us to make things faster. So let's go into the newer version of 4.0, and okay, this is the we don't have to try if this works, because it will work for sure. The code is practically the same. We have seen that it gave some clear explanation. Maybe it's more clear than the 3.5 version, and it's more like a human-like kind of explanation. It explains also very in a synthetic way, but also in a very clear and accurate way the code. So we are very happy of both the version 4.0, and so that's all for our first let's call it first video here, tutorial about using ChatGPT and Python together. Thank you for your interest in this video, and see you soon. Bye.